Wikipedia information. The Holodomor Ukrainian, to kill by starvation, is also known as the Famine-Genocide in Ukraine, the Terror-Famine, or the Ukrainian Genocide of 1932-1933, was a man-made famine in Soviet Ukraine from 1932 to 1933 that killed millions of Ukrainians. The term Holodomor emphasizes the famine's man-made, with intentional aspects such as rejection of outside aid, confiscation of all household foodstuffs, and restriction of population movement. As part of the wider Soviet famine of 1932-33, which affected the major grain-producing areas of the country, millions of inhabitants of Ukraine, the majority of whom were ethnic Ukrainians, died of starvation in a peacetime catastrophe unprecedented in the history of Ukraine. Since 2006, the Holodomor has been recognized by Ukraine and 15 other countries as a genocide of the Ukrainian people carried out by Stalin's Soviet government. Early estimates of the death toll by scholars and government officials varied greatly. Up to 12 million Ukrainians were said to have perished as a result of the famine. Hola, from Cascada Cafeteiro in Popayan, Colombia. With the present great world confusion, I wish to do my part to accelerate the evolution of human consciousness. Please help by subscribing and sharing these videos. Thank you. I went to Ukrainian Saturday morning school for 12 years, and only in my last year of advanced Ukrainian education did I learn about Holodomor. Please watch my video, I'm proud of being Ukrainian. Most people have never heard of Holodomor, and therefore, I was very moved when Christian from Ice Age Farmer talked about this in his latest video. Holodomor 2.0, Man-Made Famine and Election Chaos. I follow Ice Age Farmer and Adapt 2030, and I recommend them both highly. These two channels is where I get most of my information on the grand solar minimum. I received comments from Dr. Strong on one of my videos. He has a 10-year-old channel, the Sun Channel, and according to him, we are not entering a grand solar minimum. Dr. K. Strong has clearly invested a lot of energy into his work for over 10 years. With this kind of personal investment, it is clear that the doctor believes in his research. I personally have nothing to defend. I hope Dr. Strong is right, because if he's wrong and we are entering a grand solar minimum, the whole world will enter a natural created starvation. I listened to a number of alternative channels and many varied opinions. I also observe what is going on around me, not only from the point of view of climate, but also of world events. It makes sense to me that we're entering a time period where there will be not enough food to feed the 8 billion plus people on this planet, and the cabal is keeping this information hidden. From my Ukrainian sources, I learned that close to 20 million people died during Holodomor. After the communist crimes, Holodomor, and the Second World War, the total number of Ukrainians was reduced by 45%. Of course, the official lies try to push the low number of 3 to 3.5 million in order to have people believe that the number of people that starved to death in Ukraine was lower than the official number of 6 million Holocaust victims. Ultimately, it is simply important to be in awareness that genocides are created by governments who are controlled by the cabal. To assume that our governments would never do such a thing is dangerous. Today we have proof all around us that the governments are not there to save us or to take care of us. I learned a lot from my friend Madhu Sauvé at tripletransformation.ca about how humans operate. Everything is energetic. We live in an electrical universe and we respond to things, people, information that resonate with our energy. One is attracted to a certain information and repelled by other information because our ego mind has accumulated over the years certain beliefs. If the information offered does not align with our beliefs, no matter how much evidence is provided, the ego mind will reject it. Cognitive dissonance is the mental conflict that occurs when beliefs or assumptions are contradicted by new information. The unease or tension that the conflict arouses in people is relieved by one of several defensive maneuvers. They reject, explain away, or avoid the new information, persuade themselves that no conflict really exists, reconcile the differences, or resort to any other defensive means of preserving stability or order in their conceptions of the world and of themselves. In my opinion, everything is an opinion, no matter how much we want to believe that we have facts. As time goes on, the facts we believe in change. Example, the earth used to be flat, it then became round, and now there are many opinions that the earth is flat again. Therefore, it does not matter if the number of Ukrainians that starved to death was 20 million or less. The only thing that matters is for us to accept the possibility that our ego mind does not want to believe because it is very uncomfortable, may happen whether we like it or not. Preparing for the worst case scenario is wise. If world starvation does not happen, one can always eat the food that was stored during the preparation. If one is, however, 1 second too late for preparation, the consequences will be awful. Please go into action now and make the choice between listening to your ego-mendacious mind and the external authorities, or listening to your soul, the internal authority. I was blessed with time and created this new life outside of the totalitarian control system, and now I wish to be part of creating self-sustainable small communities. Please contact me. My contact information is below. The coronavirus pandemic is a psychological force that's being used to enslave humanity completely at every possible level through technocracy. There is no government solution. We must first remember who we are and then understand what we're doing here on Earth, specifically right now. Assistance with farmland purchases in Colombia and Ecuador. Long-term stay at a Colombian farm, 130 USD per week, 470 USD per month. Truth Consciousness Workshop at Cascada Café Retiro in English, Spanish, and French. Dental treatment of high quality and migraine treatment with NTI dental appliance. Infinite